The way that Iman's body, the condition that it was in, was horrific. He had a stage 5 ulcer on the back of on his sacrum. Um, and they didn't find this stage 5 ulcer until it was a stage 3. That shows you how much skincare we were or skin checks we were doing. And you should know, or if you are familiar with wounds and such, then you'll know once a stage 5, always a stage 5. It will always come back. There will always be issues. Iman didn't have to have that. If he was in my care, Iman would have never had that. I've healed wounds more than once. But with Iman, he didn't have any protein. He didn't have any hydration. He didn't have any nutrition. Those are all huge factors. And he didn't get that chance. He didn't get the chance to not have bed sores. He was told he had to stay in that nursing home, that he had no choice, that Tasha and Lorene were not taking him home, and that I wouldn't even let him see his kids. And every time he told them on video he wanted to come home, they just ignored it, like he didn't say it. And all of a sudden they were telling him, you're going to go into a nursing home. And the worst part they did was say, Tiffany's going to have to wipe your butt. She's going to have to change your diaper. She's going to have to feed you. She's going to have to move you. She's going to have to lift you. She's going to have to do this. She's going to be in charge. You just told him that I won't let him see his kids. And then you tell him he's going to be a burden to me. Why? Why did you do that? Iman didn't want to be a burden. You made him feel like a burden. That's why I'm not going to stop. That's why you're not going to win. That's why everybody, not just the sisters, is getting held accountable. I told you I wasn't going to stop. I told you this wasn't going away. I told you stop doing it, that you were going to kill your brother. I told you that this was a delicate situation and that you couldn't just dump an amputee in a bath and just submerge him without doing certain things. And you told me that you knew that if Iman went to a nursing home, that he would get bed sores, infections, and choke. And then you gave him water to choke him. And then you didn't stop. You asked the nurse because she documented it. Why did you want to choke him? I will never let this go. I will never let you walk. None of you will walk away from this. None of you. If you are on my husband's medical records, you are done. The only one that's not done is the one that told the truth about his real neglect. And that was the surgeon. That's the only one that told the truth about Iman's true neglect towards the end of his time. Which is why when I picked Iman up, everybody was scrambling. Oh God, Tiffany's here. We got to call Tiffany's here with a court order. What do you mean we can't? Why? Well, okay, I'm going to call APS. Tiffany's here with a court order. What do you mean we can't stop her? Tiffany's here with a court order. What do you mean we can't stop her? Okay, we're going to hurry up and put a boot on his foot. Make sure they don't see this big old huge bruises all over his body. Gonna make sure we put some toilet paper in his ass just to cover, his bed sore, because we don't have foams, because we don't do that here. Where were the foam? Where was the cream? Where was the hydration? His foot was so ashy. It was being, I can't even say ashy. Ashy is like ashy. Your knees, ash. This was pure neglect, just no fluids. He didn't have anything to drink ever. Look at his videos. Every video, every picture, there's no water. Where is Iman's water? They said he screamed for help in the notes. Because he was thirsty, because he was hungry, because he had no pain management, because he had UTIs, because he was urinary tract, or no, yeah, he had a urinary tract infection because he was urinary retention. He needed a Foley. He needed a straight calf. Do you know how painful that is? I do. I watched it. I watched my husband suffer. I watched him in my dreams while he was in that home. And I don't care what any of the sisters say, because I proved it by saying Iman sat up last night. What'd they do? Text me. Iman sat up last night. And then I watched him say, why? Why did they do this to me, Tiffany? I never did anything to them. Why did they do this to us? I just wanted to be sober. I just wanted to be a dad. I wanted to make up for what I did to you and what I did to these kids. And now they're telling me I have no choice and that I'm going to die now. Why? Is this my karma? And they just watched him lose all that weight. They admit it more than once. I got text messages, all kinds of shit. I got notes that I got essays of pages that they sent to their cousins, who then sent it. Mind you, it's not even cousins I've ever met, who sent it to me and said, Tiffany, I believe you. Here's what my cousin said. We don't believe her because she did it to us too. So this fight, it's not just about going after Tasha and Lorraine. It's about holding people accountable. It's about using them as an example. This was abuse. You can't hold somebody against their will, not let them see their children, take their personal cell phone, stop their visits from their friends even. Iman was an addiction. He fucked up with a lot of us. He burnt a lot of bridges. And there were a lot of us that were very important for him to say, I'm sorry. Like Rob and his mother. Because of course, Iman flipped when he was on drugs and did stupid, mean, not even just, he thought everybody was after him. Isn't that what drugs do? That's all I've seen him do. That and make you lie, cheat, steal, violent. And he had a lot of people that he wanted to say sorry to, because while he was on life support, dying, he had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to talk with God. So I'm Iman's voice. I'm his voice. My army is his voice. And Iman is just one of millions of people that are getting this same abuse. I used to work in these homes and I thought that these people were being dumped. Now that I see what happens, I'm like, oh my God, okay, when I was in that nursing home working, we had all these restraining orders. Nobody could see this person. Nobody could talk to this person. Nobody could. Oh my God. This was abuse. I didn't know. But everybody in that nursing home knew. And you want me to tell you why? Because we went to multiple courts with Tasha and Lorraine, where they told all kinds of shit. And the one thing they did was looked at me in my face through the little, what were we on, Zoom, and said, everybody's watching you in the nursing home. And I'm like, why are they watching me instead of taking care of my paralyzed husband? The fuck you watching me for when you ain't doing nothing for him? One person reached out to me and said, I see your husband. Got that picture for me. The one of him on the bed where he's sitting up, right on top of his stage 5 ulcer. Yeah, that did real fucking good. On a plastic bed, no sheets. No, little shitty blankets. He don't like those blankets. I don't even like them. They're like the grandma blankets that they put on top back in the day with the little thin cotton. That was evil. Iman thought he was in jail because of this. He thought he was in jail because he got his cell phone taken, his visits taken, and police kept coming because of me. He was dying. And that's why when you see the video of me saying, we've been praying for you, he says, I've been praying for myself. Because he laid there in that bed for no reason alone. No reason. Iman never would have had to been alone, ever. This could have turned out so much better. He wouldn't have been so terrified. He wouldn't have been so traumatized. He wouldn't have been so frail. He would have been strong as shit. Matter of fact, these arms of his would have been twice that size. Because he would have been like, Iman he's a fit man. And his muscles were dead when he got home. Dead. They shocked him and everything for me. We tried everything. It was too late. There was no physical therapy. They kept him in the nursing home and refused to give him physical therapy. Tasha and Lorene made him a long-term care resident against his will. Made it like he was a transient. No discharge plan at all. None. And mind you, the nursing home was kicking Iman out. Since 8/1/2021. And when we went to court on 9/3/2021, Tasha and Lorene lied under oath and said that Iman, because of his traumatic brain injury, had to be locked away in a dementia facility. He was never incompetent. I proved that. I got all the scans, MRIs. That's what you need. They never got one for him. They used the MRI from when he first got hit, when his brain was first damaged. They used that at the nursing home to say he was incompetent. Don't have any action in his front lobe. Really? Because I thought that he was playing dominoes, counting money for me, asking me what medications I'm administering to him, checking himself into the hospitals and doctors and physical therapy, telling his own medications. Got it all on video, made sure. Mom told me to record everything. And when it was time for him to start to die, he said, you better record everything. I want my sisters to see it all. Show them what they did to me. And lock them up. And that's my promise. So if you're with me, let me know in the comments. And then I'll tell you what we do next, which is flood the media. And I have the directions for you.